Are we live? I think we're live. What's going on, guys? We're going to give it a couple minutes, let people get in here. So, starting this a little bit late, but hopefully you guys are on. So, yeah. We'll let you guys take a look at the BlackLegion collection. Ooh, let me turn that light off. That's really bright. There we go. That should be better. Yeah. Just waiting for some people to come in. Anyway, tonight we are going to start putting out all of the BlackLegion figures. I actually didn't realize I had this many. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 12, 13, 14, 15, 18, 19, 20, 22, 27. I'm counting the Justaerin Terminators in this because, I mean, the coloring, I mean, it's Sons of Horus, but these were what was eventually going to become the BlackLegion. So these guys are going to go. The Sons of Horus are going to be in the display next to it. So I'm just going to put the Justaerin Terminators with the BlackLegion figures that I have. So it doesn't make sense to split them up. So let's see. We got a couple people in chat. Who we got? La la la. Sick. Oh, my thing is not resetting. Interesting. Very interesting. So anyway, so it looks like I'm going to have to look on the phone. So we got what's going on Lone. What's up Cyber. So we got you guys in here. So yeah, so tonight we're going to do the BlackLegion figures, which I actually didn't realize I had as many as I do. I forgot about all of the original ones. The V1s, because when I originally started collecting the Warhammer JOYTOY figures, I was doing Blood Angels and I was doing all the BlackLegion figures. So I purchased all of the original figures. So I have all of these, and then obviously I have the Justaerin Terminators, Abaddon, and Horus. So all of these are going to go in my display tonight. We're going to put them in there. The only thing that's going to be tricky is some of these Terminator figures, goddamn, some of these Chaos Terminator figures, they look really cool. But if you have these figures, you know what some of the problems are with them. Some of them have very loose joints, and some of them have problems standing. But the paint job on these figures is awesome. You can see, I think that's an ultramarine helmet that's on his spike right there. These are such awesome figures. The other thing is the scale. Right, when you take like him compared to like a Justaerin Terminator, you can clearly see like the scale issue is a problem. Right, Justaerin Terminator is definitely taller, and this guy is supposed to be, his head is supposed to essentially be where the Justaerin Terminator's head is, so it's supposed to be much higher up, and that overcasing on his head is supposed to be a little bit higher than the Justaerin Terminator. So yeah, scale is a bit of an issue with these figures, but it is what it is. Let me try restarting this because I want to have chat on my laptop. For some reason it's not coming through. So let's see if I can get this to work. But yeah, so we're going to go through, we're going to do all of my, oh, I guess it's working now. We're going to do all of my, there we go. Alright, so we got DG's first. Then we got Lone. I was getting impatient. And we got Cyber. So yeah, so tonight we're going to go through, dude, I set up all of these figures for the picture, and then I had to move the entire display of this. Probably not the best idea, but I had to pick up this entire table with all of these figures, and as you guys know, probably not the best idea, but I actually got it over there, and the only figure that fell, funny enough, figure that fell was Horus, but he had no battle damage, he didn't break, so that was good. So yes, we got the Hellbrute, We got all of the first V1 Terminators from the Chaos Legion, and then we got some of the Power Armor variant figures. Again, these are really cool figures. The only problem with these is really the scale, right? It's just the scale of these figures, because if these were in the normal scale, they would be awesome figures. Like, that's a Power Armor variant of Chaos Marine, and it's too tiny, right? But these are great figures. I love these figures. So anyway, so we're gonna do a setup in the display, and I think I made a mistake, because I was expecting to get all of these figures into one of these displays. I don't think that's gonna work. I think these figures are going to take 2 of these cabinets. So it looks like in this cabinet it's going to be the Sons of Horus and the Black Legion rather. So I don't think I'm going to be able to get the Alpha Legion in there. So yeah, it's okay though, because I have a lot of extra room too that we have along the sides here that I still have to fill out. Down here I have, over here we have a whole bunch of area up there. Obviously that sword is not going to stay there, power pack is not going to stay there, but we got a lot of extra room. So no SM2 stream today. I'm going to do it tomorrow, actually, alone, because I want to get my weekly in. I have what do we have? I have the Comic-Con coming up in like a week and a half, and I actually wanted to do tonight. I wasn't planning on doing this. I was actually planning on doing a live stream attaching or doing some stuff to the cosplay pieces. Like, for instance, the boots, I need to put like sole, like sneaker sole on the bottom of them, and when I went to measure it out today, I didn't have enough. So yeah, but anyway, so here's what we've gotten done so far. I think the Grey Knights display looks awesome, dude. I still can't believe I got 2 of the Nemesis Dread Knights in there. So yeah, dude, these are awesome. I'm very happy with how the first side of this came out. Right, this looks really awesome. And by the way, we have that custom. Oh yeah, that Weta helmet is right here. Yep, and then this is all in the Blood Angels display. I'll move this out of the way. So we got this going, and this looks awesome. Right, this was the very first one, and this was probably the custom GK Brute dude. So right here, if you guys don't know what we're talking about, in our Discord, I'm getting a custom, or I have a custom made Grey Knight Terminator looking like a paladin with a storm shield. And it's based on the look of Chaos Gate Demon Hunter's look, with all the accoutrement and everything on there, all the adornments. It's crazy looking. So once I get that, he's gonna go in here. We're gonna do a full review on that figure, also kind of like the Emperor of Mankind. And I'm thinking right where this helmet is, I'm gonna get some kind of display to be able to put the custom Emperor of Mankind figure up there, because I think that would be cool. And then at the top, I'll just have a light shining down on the Emperor figure. So the custom figure from Book was like $399, $400. So, but he's giving me like a lot of extra stuff with it too. So that custom GK and the custom Emperor, or the Emperor of Mankind figure, both $400 essentially. So, but yeah, so this turned out really great. I'm very, very happy with this display especially. And then when we go over to the Blood Angels display, we got Sanguinius in here. I actually have 2 different helms for him. I'm thinking of getting the 3rd one, but Sanguinius looks awesome. I had to figure a way to get him in here without having his wings out fully, because it's not enough room in there, but I think it came out pretty good. And then obviously we were talking about this before, we got Dante and the original Sanguinary Guard figures. And then down here we got the latest version of the Terminators with the Jump Pack Intercessors. All these are awesome figures. And then we have the first run of the Terminators and Mephiston. in there for the Blood Angels, and all the way in the back you can see Vampire Ken hanging out. And then down here we got the Redemptor Dreadnought, and then we got the Tempter Dreadnought from the Horus Heresy. We got a couple of Blood Angel Blood Paladins, and we got the Praetor. And then we got, this is the one I fixed the other day, which had the torso issue. So I fixed that. And then we got two of the, shit, I forgot. I always call these the Dawn, but they're not the Dawn jump pack guys. So then we got Sanguinius. And then here I have this open because we got the Sanguinor figure. So I'm going to do Sanguinor. I think I'm going to get two Sanguinor figures, to be honest with you. And then we're going to get the new Sanguinary Guard figures in here. And then in here, I got to get another of the Dawnbreakers there. I think I'm going to get one more Dawnbreaker. I'm not going to get all three. I got to see, because I'm running out of room. And then we got the other Blood Angel, Blood Paladins down there. And then at the very bottom, we got the Furiosa. So, again, so far so good. Two of my two favorite legions are done. So, and then the only other thing I have to do for the Blood Angels, and I think we're going to do this next week, is we're going to customize this figure up. We're going to take some parts from the version 1 Intercessors, and we're going to swap out his knee, and we're going to swap out that shoulder pad, and we're going to make him a Blood Angel Tech Marine, and then he is going to go in the bottom with the Furiosa, because he in Battle Sector was a huge part of my armor division. I always had a Tech Marine to be able to run with them. And then over here we have the finished diorama. So we started this last week. So I had a smaller setup here, and it's still 100 pounds of kinetic sand about. And so we created this diorama, right, when we set it up. So now it's completely set up. I textured everything out. Remember I was telling you it would look much better once it was textured out, right, with that utensil, which is right over here. And I told you it looks really good. Once you texture out the entire thing, it looks really cool. So this is going to be the base for future pictures. I can lower the light. I have this light up here, can change all different colors. Then I have a couple halogen lights on the left and right, so I can adjust, and I can just make it brighter if I want. We also have the turning display here, so this is all set up, and I made sure it can clear everything effectively without falling over. But yeah, it came out really good. Like I said, the everything as far as the backdrop, all of the pieces can be removed, and when I get Angeron, we're going to swap this out for a complete setup of red sand, and we're going to have a red background, so it should be pretty cool. So, but I'm very happy with how this came out. So, looks delicious. If JOYTOY makes them, I'm buying some and totally getting a Bajoran Dreadnought and painting him red. Yeah, dude. I don't know why we haven't gotten any Blood Angel Tech Marines. Or any other Tech Marines. We got I think we got Space Wolves, right? We got Space Wolves Tech Marine, and I think it was just the Ultramarine, if I'm remembering right. We haven't gotten any more, so. You do the Angron versus Lion scene where he's on the top of the cathedral fighting Angron. Yeah, dude. So what's awesome about this? Let me bring over the Tech Marine so you guys can get an idea of the size of the figures that you can put in here, and it works out pretty good. So Tech Marine, he's right there. So again, let me throw Horus in there too, because we're gonna get Horus out anyway, and we'll put him in. So here's one of the wider Primarchs, and so here he is on this display. So he works out pretty good as well. So, and then on the spinning diorama, again, I'm surprised that they still have these in stock. Again, it was, let me just adjust his foot here. But they still have these shockwave displays in stock at Big Bag Toy Store. So if you guys want, I think they're only like $12.99, but they're an awesome display, and you can do a lot with them. Again, they have the batteries in the bottom. Yeah, $12.99 or $14.99 or something like that. It's pretty cheap, but the display is awesome, and all these other parts I actually wound up getting from Big Bad Toy Store also. So, but yeah, so we got a nice diorama for pictures to set up, and what we're going to do is go through all of the Black Legion figures. I think we're going to do Horus right here in the middle, because we're going to do all of the... Goddamn, I don't think I'm going to be able to get... Because at the very bottom, it's going to be the Siege, the Leviathan Dreadnought from Sons of Horus, and then we'll put the Contemptor Dreadnought there, and then I don't know what the hell it's going to be. So we're going to probably start off with putting Horus right in the middle, because I don't see any other way that I'm going to... I think this is going to be all Sons of Horus and Black Legion figures, so... Yep, so this is every single Black Legion figure that has come out. So I actually have an extra one in there too, because I doubled up on the very first figure that I got. So, and what we'll do is, as I go through these figures, we'll do a quick close-up look on them so you guys can take a look. Because I'm sure some of these figures, some of you guys have not seen, because these were original figures that ran, and you're more or less used to these figures on the right, which is the most recent Black Legion figures, which are awesome. And then we got the Justaerin Terminators in the back. So, and we got the Hellbrute. So, oh shit, that's right, the Hellbrute. I'm gonna have to put that. So it's gonna be the Hellbrute, the Contemptor Dreadnought, and then we're gonna have to do the Leviathan Dreadnought right after that. So that's gonna probably be what the setup is on the bottom. So yeah. So first figure that's gonna go in here is we're gonna throw Horus in there. So we'll do a quick close-up of him, so you guys can see. And again, with my figure, I got the custom, let's do over here. I got the custom head from Bog Toys. So it's not actually a head, it's a mask, because behind him is his normal head, but a bunch of pipes and wires that are going in. You can kind of see how it fits. So it's set up so it just fits over or around the different pipes, but I love this mask slash helm. So your thoughts on the judge? Oh dude, I love that Praetor. I think I'm gonna get... I love these Justaerin Terminator figures. So the fact that they have a Praetor, a general, leading them, right? Obviously it's still Abaddon, but I think the Praetor looks awesome, dude. I'm really happy with them, and I'm looking... I might even get 2 of them, dude. I gotta put in my order for JOYTOY at the end of this month, like I normally do, for all my JOYTOY figures. So I'm thinking of getting 2 Sanguinor and 2 of the Praetor. Again, I just got to be careful because I don't have a ton of room, and I do not want to get into a situation. Obviously, I can fit more Blood Angel figures in here, but here is going to be all of the Sanguinary Guard and the updated... we got the Sanguinor and the updated Sanguinary Guard. But I just have to be careful because I don't want to have figures that I can't display. That's the biggest thing with me. I don't want to get into a situation... By the way, DG, look up there. Do you see that, do you see that figure? Right? That's the one that I picked up off of you. So he'll be going out soon. Lone, you'll be happy. You got your representation here. Obviously, Magnus will find a spot for... But I still have a lot of room here, but I just want to make sure that I'm not overextending myself with what I'm collecting. So, but anyway, so we're going to put Horus in there. We're going to get him into the top spot. So, again, one of my favorite Primarch figures overall. I think he really... What was it? I think it was Gilliman, and then the Lion, and then Horus was the first Horus Heresy figure. So, great, there's a deal for the 1,000 Suns Praetor right now for $34. Oh, god damn it. Stop it! No, I have 3. I have 3,000 Suns. I'm not getting any more. I have to try to stick to my guns here with what I'm doing. So, Alright, so we're going to do, Horus is going to go into the middle rack, like we were saying before. I don't think I'm going to need a display base for him. I think he's going to be fine to sit in there. So, he looks cool. So he's going to be sitting in the very top. And then we'll get, I think we'll throw Abaddon and the Justaerin Terminators right below. Actually, I don't know what I'm going to do because we got, you're right, that Praetor from the Justaerin Terminators is coming. The temptation for those prices are chaos temptations. They are, dude. I have to be very careful. Just because it's just, you wind up, like, for instance, I have all of the World Eaters now. God damn it. Like, I didn't plan on doing that. And then I wound up buying every single Alpha Legion figure. Right? So, I'm like, where am I going to put this stuff? And my biggest thing is one of the reasons why I dropped down the collection as much as I have, and just collecting the Warhammer figures, really essentially, is because I was just having stuff in boxes and I couldn't take it out of the box because I just didn't have any room. So that's a big thing for me, is just make sure that anything I'm purchasing, I have the ability to take him out. So. And then obviously over here we got the Imperial Knight, we got the House Ravengard one coming. So, but yeah, so we're gonna do Horus here, and then I think Horus is just gonna be by himself, just like oh shit, actually this is cool symmetry. So we got Horus, and we're gonna have all his legions, and then we got Sanguinius, and we got all the Blood Angels here. So, see, I didn't mean, no, I did. I'm gonna take credit for that. I meant to do this. I meant to do it just like that. So next one up is going to be, I think we're going to do Abaddon. And this figure is really awesome because I got the, there's been 2 heads that I've gotten for him. So this one was the first one. And both of these heads, these custom heads, were from Cool Toys Club. But he fell off of my top of my display. What's up, Chris? What's going on, dude? Thank you for stopping in, man. So I purchased 2 of these. This was the original optional head or helm for Abaddon, but this one fell in my room where I do my streaming, and the top knot broke off. It actually broke into like 4 pieces, so there was no chance to fix this. Lucky enough, WOG Toys came out with a new Abaddon helm maybe 2-3 months ago. So for the longest time, Abaddon was not having his top knot. So we got the new helm from WOG Toys, and Abaddon is looking cool. This is one of my favorite JOYTOY figures that they've come out with. I love Abaddon. I think that his model in the 30K line is awesome. I know we're gonna eventually get a Chaos Legion 40K version of him, but I still love this figure. I think this is awesome. Especially after I've started on the Horus Heresy series, at least listening to every single book I'm going to plan on doing through Audible. So I picked up all of the Siege of Terror books, and I'm going to try to read, or at least listen through all of the books. So, and the first book that I'm listening to has a lot to do with the Lunar Wolves and the relationship with Horus Aximand and so on and so on. So it's pretty awesome. First Black Crusade Abby was such a sick figure. Yes. Yeah, so DG, when do you think we're gonna get a 40K version of Abaddon? Because we've gotten, obviously, a ridiculous amount of BlackLegion figures. And I know that Abaddon is not technically a Primarch, but, like, I mean, in all, you know, verbiage other than Primarch, he literally is a Primarch for the BlackLegion. So, yeah, I would think sooner than later we're gonna get a version of him. So Abaddon is gonna go right below Horus, but we're gonna do Justaerin Terminators in there as well. Only thing I gotta think of is the future, because we got those Praetors coming, and I think we're gonna do 2 of the Praetors. Even if I do 1 or 2, we have 4 and then 5 with Abaddon. So let me see what I can actually get in here. So here we go. This is one of the Justaerin Terminators. This is with the dual bolter, and he has a, I guess that's a chainsaw on the end of his dual bolter with his 2 drum magazines on the bottom. And he's got a power maul or power hammer on he's holding. So, and then these figures are really awesome. The thing that I really enjoy about them is I love the black matte color or paint that they use on these figures, and that's not just the light. They did do a lot of touch-up paint on some of the edges for this figure, and all the Justaerin Terminators are like this. So we're gonna do Justaerin Terminators over here. When are we gonna get a Horon Blackheart? Being biased, he's my favorite. I would assume soon. Yeah, it's a combi bolter, but it's weird, right? Is it still considered a combi bolter with just a chainsaw on the end, or chainsaw sword? Or it's not even chainsaw sword, right? It's just 2 bolters, right, with the chainsaw in the middle. I guess that's considered, but to me a combi weapon, or at least a range weapon, is when we're gonna have a multi, or we're gonna have a melta or something else on there with the bolter. So, but anyway, so we're gonna I'm gonna try to stick these as far in the back as I can, because I want to try to get all of them in here. Alright, so let me do something here. So we'll keep this open. There we go. So next one is going to be, we're gonna do another combi weapon. This is going to be another dual bolter, and then this one is going to be with the power axe. So awesome. I love these figures. I love all of the Justaerin Terminator figures. And looking at the miniatures, which I don't have, but looking at the pictures of the miniatures, they're like perfect. You can tell JOYTOY did, like, I don't know, all of the Horus Heresy figures just look absolutely amazing. So, all right, and then we're gonna go to, I think this is a multi-melta? What is this? I forgot. I'm not gonna look it up. Yeah, highlights are awesome on the Justaerin Terminators. Is this a multi-melta? I think that is. So anyway, so that, and he's got a power maul, so it looks awesome. We're gonna stick him in there, and then we're gonna get into some issues with math here, because I got 3 of the Justaerin Terminators in the back, and then we have 2 left, and then we got, I think I'm gonna get 2 of the Praetors, and then this is my favorite one. This is my favorite of the Justaerin Terminators. There's been a lot of different lightning claws that have come out, different weapons. You can even see on some of the this one. Let's do this. So we have, you can see the lightning claws here, right? And then this one also has lightning claws, but he has a different setup for them. And this was a recent figure too. But he's got, like, it's almost like Wolverine claws. In a way, he's got 4 of them, but he's got the use of his hand. Again, this is the 40K, so he's like all warp demented and stuff like that. But yeah, it's very odd that they have such weird, I guess his hand grew through the bottom armor, or is this just different? So yep. So they are different, but they are the same. So alright, but anyway, this is my favorite. I was actually so much my favorite that I was actually thinking of getting more than one of him when I ordered these figures. But I held off, and thank goodness I did, because I still have enough room in here. So we'll put Lightning Claws boy here. Oh, we're going to have to adjust his foot. And fix his foot a little bit. Alright, so we got him, and then we're going to do Abaddon as well. And then Abaddon, I mean, shit. What I showed you his helm before, but what else do we got to say about Abaddon? Abaddon's awesome. And again, look at that claw, dude. All of the digits on these, just like the electric claws, are all articulated. I should probably take out the the Horus figure and show he's even more articulated on his fingers of his claw of Horus, which is absolutely crazy. Lightning claws are awesome. Are those specific claws jointed? Yes, they are. Yo, what's up, Sazby88? If they are, I might have to get a version of a Heresy Terminator with claws. Dude, yes, you have to. I'm gonna pull Horus out again really quick because I didn't do a great job of showing this. Again, if you guys want and you're interested in a more in-depth review, you can go to my channel, and I did a massive review on Horus and the Justaerin Terminators when they first came out. Alright, so Horus, when you're looking at the claw of Horus here, this thing is unbelievably articulated, dude. This thing is crazy. Look at all of the joints here are articulated. So I'm trying to get a better view here. So all of the joints on him are articulated. You can even get them more. So look at that. He's literally holding his thumb like you would a normal digit. Absolutely awesome, dude. That's what I'm saying. Like, he's still one of my favorite Primarchs that have come out by JOYTOY. The amount of time and effort and dude, so much was put into this figure. It's crazy, absolutely crazy. And still one of the top figures they've ever made, and definitely top 1 or 2 of the Primarchs that they've come out with. Even still, with him being, I think he's the 3rd Primarch that came out. So, but his claw of Horus is absolutely amazing, dude. Absolutely awesome. But to go back to what you were saying, Sazabon88, yeah, I would recommend though picking up, if you're gonna get the lightning claws, definitely pick up the Justaerin Terminator lightning claw one. I know it's a bit harder to pick up right now. I think I tried to grab another one somewhere, but they seem to be sold out in a lot of different places. So where'd you get the helmet for Horus and Abaddon? So Horus's helm, you can go to WOG Toys right now, and they have it. It's actually a mask that fits on the front of his face so that the wires and stuff, you can't get his head off, so it can't be a helm. And the same thing with Abaddon. The helm for Abaddon was also from WOG Toys. Same thing with actually with all of my figures. So over here, when we go to Sanguinius, I have 2 helms for him. So you can pick up all your alternate helms for your Primarchs at WOG Toys. And again, the helms, dude, I think let me see, this one I think cost me 10-15 bucks. The Abaddon was like 10 bucks, and it's fully painted, and it comes perfectly sized for the peg that it's supposed to go on. So it's not like a excuse me, situation where in the past, for instance, you bought figures and then you go to like Etsy and you get a helm or a head to swap it out with, and it wasn't fully painted, and you have to paint it yourself, which is fine for people who like to do that. But you can go to WOG Toys and just pick up a fully painted helm that fits on the peg perfectly without having to put any sticky tack. So, but yeah, WOG Toys is the place. By the way, if DG, if you can, do me a favor, just throw the WOG Toys in the chat. And then also, if you're looking for good prices, just like DG says, we have a Discord. So believe it or not, we have a WraithMace Discord. So if you guys want to join, all you have to do is follow me here on YouTube, follow me on Instagram, message me on Instagram, and I will shoot you over the Discord invite. So, and then we have a whole chat in there where DG actually updates all of the best deals on AliExpress. Some of the stuff is crazy, dude. He keeps tempting me with getting other shit, but I am trying to be strong. But yeah, so WOG Toys is your best bet. I see them discounted at times on Amazon. I got those Primaris for really cheap. Oh, that's awesome, dude. If you see some of the Justaerin Terminator, especially with this lightning claw, dude, absolutely, you have to pick them up. It's such a great figure. Such a great figure. And by the way, like I said, on the YouTube video where I reviewed Horus and all the Justaerin Terminators and Abaddon, I go more in depth into Mr. Lightning Claws over there. So, alright, so Abaddon looks awesome again. Great, dude. And he comes with an awesome bolter too. But his sword, I don't know. I'm a big geek for having all of the melee weapons on my guys. So unless there's a specific need to have the range weapon, these guys are going to have their melee weapons. But Abaddon looks awesome, so we're going to stick Abaddon here with the Justaerin Terminators, and we got the Praetor, which is, I think it's coming out in what? Tell me if I'm wrong, DG. Was it, I think November is when they're saying the Praetor is going to come out. So when he comes out, this shelf will have to be a little bit arranged differently. Maybe if I get 2 of the Praetors, I'll put the Lightning Claw variant in the middle, and then the 2 Praetors on the left and right, and then move Abaddon next to his daddy. Him and Horus will just share the top area, so that might be pretty cool. I think that might be something to do. So, alright, so now we're just going to pure BlackLegion figures, okay? And I figure that we'll do the most recent run figures. What's Angron hitting for? So Angron is like, I think you can get him for like $2.99. I think so. And Adam, I should be getting my Angron soon. I ordered him a long time ago, so lowest he's been at is $235. Shit. And yeah, when I pre-purchased my Angron, I pre-purchased him, I think for what was it, $350 was the price at the time. So yeah, after tariffs, Adam, if you want, go to LT Cave or Cool Toys Club. Cool Toys Club, you'll pay the tariff, but they've adjusted it into your prices. You can also go to AliExpress. You can join our Discord and you can take a look at the best deals that DG puts in there. And we have affiliate links also. So Cool Toys Club and LT Cave. You can click on the links in our channel, in our description of this video, and you can go to there and you can pick up the figures for. They usually LT Cave and Cool Toys Club have some of the best prices that you're getting from an actual store, but AliExpress is definitely some of the best prices, period. Or Amazon, if you can jump on there and find what you're looking for. So, all right, from either I've gotten most of my collection from either Amazon or my local GameStop. GameStop, really? That's actually really interesting, Jake. I didn't even know that GameStop. I used to be a manager of GameStop in the late 90s when it was called Software Etc. And then they became GameStop once they took over Funko and some stuff. But that's actually really cool that they've been selling JOYTOY figures at GameStop. That's crazy. Amazon Prime Day, I know, DG. I've been putting stuff in my cart for it. So, all right. So we're gonna move over to the most recent BlackLegion figures, and I think we're gonna do right below is where we're gonna put them. Actually, you know what we'll do? We're gonna go to the Hellbrute, because I already know the Hellbrute's gonna go on the bottom. So Hellbrute. Oh, I got one dude falling over. So here's the Hellbrute. And I've talked about him before. Let's bring him over here. We'll throw him on the Diorama display. I'll throw some more light on him too. By the way, guys, hopefully you guys like this display because we're going to be seeing this a lot. So here is the Hellbrute. And again, this came out when... Shit, I guess this came out with the first runs of the figures, right? So here's the Hellbrute, and the only problem that I have with the Hellbrute is on his flesh as he falls over, his flesh is purplish. And it's probably actually better that they did this. You can see, but his purplish flesh was very plain. And at the time, the figures that had come out, I figured that they would do something more with this, but that's probably the biggest issue that I have with this. But other than that, the thing is amazing. I really like everything that they did with this when it came out. This was one of the... Ouch, dude, this thing hurts too. Those spikes right there, all of these spikes, none of this is rubberized. So all this shit hurts. But the Hellbrute that came out, this was in... Shit, I think 2020 rather, not 2000. 2020 is when this one came out. So, let me adjust the light here so we get some more light on him. But the Hellbrute's awesome. Like I said, at the time when he came out, I think, like I said, the biggest problem I had was the purple flesh. Other than that, look at his maul. That is his, I guess it's a power hammer that's engrossed into his arm. And then he's got his plasma on his right arm. That's part of has a mouth on the end of his plasma. So again, if you played Space Marine 2, you're used to seeing these guys, the Thousand Sun variants, but this is the BlackLegion variant. I'm actually surprised that they have not come out with any more of the Hellbrutes. This is the shit. I mean, what else have we gotten really outside of the BlackLegion for 40k? We got the 1,000. No, we haven't even gotten 1,000 Suns. We got the World Eaters. So really, it would just be the World Eaters that would get one of these. So, DG, have you heard if they're going to do any upgraded versions of this, or they're going to come out with another BlackLegion Hellbrute? So, I'm hoping to get more soon. Oh, that's awesome. The purplish flesh I actually like because yeah, like I said, I think that this is fine. I just wanted some more texture on the flesh, is what I was saying. This hasn't been because, again, at this time when this had come out, we had the other figures which had such amazing paint apps on them. And I'm not saying that the color is a problem. I think it's really the texture of the flesh. I wanted to have more texture on it. But that was about it. I think this is an awesome figure, and I think that if you have a chance to pick up one of these Hellbrutes, you definitely need to. So sadly not, so they're not going to. Okay. Imagine a JOYTOY Helldrake, dude. That thing would be crazy. That would be crazy. Just when you thought being a Dreadnought couldn't be any more worse. Warhammer delivers. Yep, absolutely. Was this 10,000 years this dude is old? At least? Right? Because he was definitely a Dreadnought during, at the end of Horus Heresy. So then he got sucked into the warp, and then this is what happened. So, but anyway, so here's the Dreadnought. I think that what we're going to do is we'll stick him on the bottom here. So the Dreadnought, the Hellbrute rather, will go on the bottom. Don't fall over. The only problem with this figure, and I'll try to balance him on the back side of the mirror, is his legs, his feet are a little bit loose. So on some of these joints, it's a bit of a pain sometimes to have him stand up without having something him leaning against. He's not insanely loose, but again, because he's so round and bulky, he's so wide, you sometimes have this problem. So, but yeah, I think the Hellbrute's awesome, dude. It's crazy that we haven't gotten any more of these. So like I said before, we're gonna jump over to the most recent release of the BlackLegion figures. Let me get a little stool because I'm getting tired standing up here. But we got the most recent releases of the BlackLegion, and that these were released, I think, about maybe 6 months ago, 7 months ago. So 10k years minimum, yeah. That's what I'm thinking, dude. Imagine being stuck like that for that long. Oh my god. I wonder why he's so pissed off. JoJo needs to make more figures from different chapters and Legions. I agree, Jake. I think that what we're going to see, especially when JOYTOY originally came out with their stuff, we saw a lot of safe bets. Well, actually, no. Let me rephrase that. When they first came out, they were trying to do some different stuff. We got Necrons, Orcs. We got obviously the Space Marines, Death Corps of Krieg, etc., etc. We got some different stuff, and then we got the Tyranids, right? But then what happened was those Orcs, those Necrons, did not sell, right? And I think that they overestimated how much people would be into the other races. And I think that people were just clamoring for these figures. I think they wanted just as many Space Marine figures as possible, whether it be Chaos Legion or Ultramarines, etc., like Loyalists and Traitors. So I think that that's what happened. I think that now that we're getting an overabundance of the Space Marine figures, be it Chaos or Traitor or Loyalist. I think now we'll start to see, in maybe the next year or two, we'll start to see more going back to like redoing the Orcs and maybe Necrons. Shit, maybe we might even get Eldar. So that would be awesome. I'd love it if they made some Red Scorpion figures or other cool chapters that are in the Warhammer universe. I agree. I think, Jake, again, it's the safe bet for what's going to sell for them, right? This shit is going to sell. That shit is going to sell. That is going to sell. It's just making sure that they're getting stuff out there that they know is people are going to pick up. So, dude, he looks so tiny next to some of these other figures. God damn. He's also leaning over a little bit, but he looks like a midget. Oh my god. But yeah, so some of these, like I said, the recent releases of the BlackLegion figures that we got pretty recently, some of them had some weird issues. Like, for instance, this dude has a very tiny head. Some of them have alligator arms. The easiest way, I guess, that you can explain some of this is they're Chaos Marines, right? So they're gonna have weird growths and everything is not going to be proportioned correctly. So that's probably the easiest way to talk through that some of these proportions on some of these more recent releases of these figures are a little off. One thing I do like about all of the BlackLegion figures is, dude, all of their parts, all of all the stuff on these figures is very unique to just them. Right, we got a very unique power pack on the back of him, which is different than all of the other Chaos Space Marines, all the BlackLegion figures that came out. Yo, what's up, Mr. OP? There we go. There's my other mod. But yeah, so this, I really do love all of the Chaos Marines, just because when we get Space Marines in general, they generally look, not that they look the same, but they have the same general look to them, right? When you get the Chaos Marines, because they're in the warp and they're so mutated, we're going to get a lot of different looks to how they are, especially their power packs and everything. It's not going to be uniform across the board like the Ultramarines, like the Blood Angels, and etc. All of the Loyalist chapters. So you're going to get more, even the World Eaters the same way, where you're going to have a lot more differences between these figures, right? All of this BlackLegion figures that came out less than a year ago, all of these figures are different. Every single one of them has a very different chest piece. They have very different arms. They have very different weapons. Then we got the other two in the back. Let me move some of these older ones out of the way. But that's one of the coolest things about the traders is, please don't fall over, please don't fall down, is that, again, when you get these figures, we're not just getting a uniform buck across the board. Like, all of these guys have something different. So Tora what's up, Torin Bana? Jason Smith, they should do a Death Guard Legion line. Oh, dude, I did. When they come out with Mortarion, that is going to be an absolute killer figure. Absolute killer, absolutely. And the entire Death Guard is going to be crazy, dude. With all of the different like mutations that those guys have, their guts coming out of the constantly overall. It's going to be an actually awesome one. So, Iron Fist #1. An army has to look standardized because the equipment is mass produced, hence can't be customized Black Ops veterans. No, I agree, Torin, but the problem, like I said, the nice thing about these figures, because of the storyline with them being mutated, from a science fiction standpoint, being in the warp for 10,000 years, all of their shit is mutated, so you're not going to have the standard look of their armor. And from a collector standpoint, that's awesome, because we're getting unique figures and unique looks for each one of these guys. And so that's all I'm saying. But bro, I can't wait to become a Space Marine. Dude, Tora, you should see my other videos, dude. I'm wearing a full Grey Knight Space Marine armor. You should check out some of my shorts. Fleshes for the week. Yeah. Yes, I guess warp can make them unique. Yeah, that's the thing. Again, like I said, these... Look at it. The dude has a little mouth on his hand, on the inside of his hand. Like, that's pretty cool and unique. So, but again, so these were the BlackLegion figures that came out, shit, I guess, less than 6 months, or 7 months ago, right? 7 months ago, because I did a live review on all these figures. So, and there's 1, 2, there's 5 of these ones. So we got him, and even though, and I'm a stickler for, I like to make sure that we get actual helms with my goddamn figures, but because they're Chaos Marines and they're mutated and all this other crazy shit, it's okay. These two guys don't have helms on, but this guy does, and then he's got his mutated mask with teeth on there, and then the Eye of Horus is busting through his chest. And then he's got his claws, which we talked about, his lightning claws. They're either, well, I guess they're a different version of the lightning claws, so they're not really mutated. But this guy is definitely mutated. He's got a freaking mouth on the inside of his palm. And then we get this dude with the horns growing out of his head, right? And even on their shoulders, we get like horns growing out their shoulders. And then on the power pack for this one, it's a little bit unique. We have some kind of a tail on the skull. I don't know if that's supposed to be a servo skull in the past. But, and then this was the main one that came out. This guy looks unbelievably cool. Very spiky. But he's got his power maul. And I think that's a bolter. Yeah, he's got a bolter. And then also, you know, one thing that's funny is I do this on all of the Chaos Marines just to make sure they have the curved magazine, because that's a clear indicator of them being one of the original, you know, Marines. So this guy has a squared out bolter on his combi weapon there. So that's a little bit of a mistake, unless he stole that from somebody. So, but these are really cool. And then this figure here, look at the back of this dude's power pack. Dude, this thing's crazy. This guy falls over constantly. But this one looks really cool. Very cool. And then also as part of his cloak, we got the Chaos symbol. So, he's really cool. This one actually had a very loose power pack. So, I wound up taking some Loctite gel, super glue essentially, and just locking his goddamn power pack into him, which I've been doing a lot more of because the loose power packs are just driving me insane. So what does he feed his hand? Anything it wants, war chest. That's what I would say. No, I don't shit, man. I do not paint these all come pre-painted, King. All come pre-painted. There's literally no way. If I painted a figure, it would look like a 5-year-old painted a figure. I'm being totally honest, dude. I don't have the time or skill to do this. Can you imagine painting these figures at this scale? Right? I could do it. Not that I could do it, but I could see someone doing it at a smaller scale. But the amount of articulation, this would be my literal collection. That would be it. I would just have my Chaos Legion figures. That's the amount of time I could expect that it would take to paint these up. But that's a good question, though. But yeah, I glued this guy's power pack on because I was just sick of the power pack coming loose and coming off. So I love that beat stick of a maul. Yeah, his power maul is awesome. Very cool. One of the coolest figures from the 5 that came out. And then we got a bunch of combi weapons of him. And we got Mr. Mouth Hand over here. So yeah, so we're gonna put these on the shelf right below. Yeah, I'm gonna have to do 3 shelves of. I'm gonna have to do Sons of Horus is gonna take up the rest of these shelves, which I have a ton of too. So we're gonna do actually Electric Claws. Dude is gonna go near the front. We're gonna stick this dude without a helm. He's going in the back. I still like him, but you're you're going in the corner because you got a helm on. And then we're going to do the same thing to Mr. I have a mouth in my palm. He's also going to go in the back here. So we'll situate him back there. And then shit, man, we got 5 of these. So he is going to go in the middle over here. Actually, you know what I should do? We should put the tallest one in the middle of the back. And then we're going to keep lightning claws in the front. And then this guy will go in the middle right here. I have a feeling that I'm going to need more room because of all of the other first run chaos figures that I have. Shit, I didn't realize I had this many Chaos Legion. Black Legion. I knew that I had a lot, but yeah, I didn't realize I had that many. We're gonna have to put some of the first run figures down there, the V1s, which you guys will see here in a second. Mouth Hand made me think of the name of it. At least you're honest. No shit, man. So up here is my 6,000 point Grey Knight army, which I did not paint because I do not have the skills to do that. But they're painted professionally, and they look awesome. So, all right. So let's go to. We're gonna start doing the first versions of these Chaos Marines or Black Legion Marines, and then what we're gonna do is we're gonna take out first the. Let's do the Terminators first. We'll do the Terminators, and then we'll get to the siege weapon Black Legion figures. So this figure originally, I thought that this was going to be their version of Abaddon, but it's not. But this is a pretty cool figure. He's actually scaled out pretty good, even compared to some of the newer figures. He's not too bad. So let's move some of these out of the way, and then we're going to start looking at some of the. What will I have? I think 4. I have 4 Terminators, and some of these weapons are absolutely crazy. Even compared to today, we haven't seen shit like this on these figures. So this is really kind of a standard Terminator Black Legion figure. Pretty cool. Again, all of these figures when they first came out, all of them had a human head also on. So what is your favorite chapter Legion? So if we're gonna say Jake, favorite loyalist chapter, we're gonna say the Blood Angels. My overall favorite chapter period, if we're not saying loyalist or traitor, etc., is the Grey Knights. So I absolutely love the Grey Knights, and because you're asking me this is gonna be my excuse to show you my Grey Knights again. So I love my Grey Knights. After playing the game Chaos Gate Demon Hunter, because I'm a new Warhammer 40K fan, I love the Grey Knights too. So we got Kaldor Dragor in there, we got Castellan Garen Crow, got Valdor on the side, and then we have our Vulnerable Dreadnought in the back. We got our Strike Squad in there. We got, by the way, this figure right here that you can see. This is what is my full armor cosplay that I'm going to be wearing to New York Comic Con in 2 weeks, too. So, and this is the Nemesis Power Sword. This thing glows like crazy when I turn it on. This thing lights up the whole room. And then here's my power pack, which goes onto the cosplay of it. But it's based upon this figure from JOYTOY, which I have 5 of these figures. So as one of the Chaos Marines just fell off the table because he was mad because I was showing him not enough love. But then I also got 2 of my Castellan Garen Crow. And then we can see more Interceptors and more Strike Squad. Obviously, like I said, the Vulnerable Dreadnought in the back there. So new Warhammer 40K fan as well. I got into it because it reminded me of last Star. Dude, Jake, you are just like me. I got into 40K because Star Wars pissed me off. After the Book of Boba Fett was so terrible, I was like, I'm done. I'm just done. I'm done. I'm not even gonna complain. I'm just done. And then I actually blew my Achilles, and I had some downtime And so I was like, all right, let me try out Battle Sector. I loved Battle Sector, and then they just started coming out with these JOYTOY figures, and I was like, shit, let me try grabbing those, because like I was a collector of like the G.I. Joe classified line and stuff like that. But once I got the very first, and it was actually one of these Chaos Legion figures, which BlackLegion figures, which I'll show you in a second. Once I got one of them, it was over. I wound up selling everything else from my collection, and I wound up just getting into Warhammer 40K. And then the, oh god, KSK Demon Hunters, I put like almost 1,000 hours into that game. Once that game came out and they introduced me to the Cranites and all the lore and the voice acting in that game, Andy Serkis is in that game as one of the voice actors. Once I played that game, I just got absolutely hooked with the Cranites. And then the JOYTOY figures came out, and these are still to this day some of the best looking JOYTOY figures that they've come out with. So then we get my 2 NDKs here, and we got lots and lots of Terminators. By the way, the Terminators are one of the best looking helms that Warhammer's come out with for any of their Terminators. So yeah, so this is, I'm gonna go back to the BlackLegion, guys, I promise. But this is my 3D printed, and the eyes light up too, I just don't have them lit up now. But this is my 3D printed Terminator Grey Knight helm. This thing's awesome, dude. And you gotta see, like I said, you gotta see my my cosplay that I'm gonna be wearing to New York Comic Con in 2 weeks. So I guarantee you, most people are not gonna have any idea what I'm supposed to be at New York Comic Con. So, all right. So moving back over to the BlackLegion figure. You know what? We're gonna throw him on the diorama display. So we'll see if he does not fall over. So he's cool. Like I said, the thing with these Terminators that came out, actually we'll throw them on the display. We'll throw them on this thing so we can get a 360 view without having to, oh god damn. He has such loose ankles, I think he's gonna fall over when I turn this on. Let's see. Let's see what happens. Don't lower it. There we go. So he is pretty cool. Again, all of these Terminators are a bit smaller. I think all I need to do though with these guys is just wind up picking up the upper thigh extension piece on them, and then I think that will be good. But these Terminators are good. They look awesome. All of the coloring is there. It's just their size, really. Their size is just stunted compared to the newer figures, because we got the newer size that came out with all of these figures. So yeah, but he's an awesome figure. I think he's pretty cool. Again, just a little bit of a loose joints, and then we got the combi weapon that he's using. He's using the plasma, and then he has the bolter. Yep. And then he got his power sword, but he looks cool. And then we get the different skulls. I think there is, oh no, these are normal human skulls. And then we got that better not be a Grey Knight fucking helm. What the fuck? Excuse my language. I didn't even realize that. What the hell is that? No, it can't be a Grey Knight because it has red eyes. What the hell is that? That better be... This pisses me off now. This is not a Grey Knight helm. This is not a Grey Knight helm. So we're going to find a spot for him, and I think we're going to have to throw... this really quick. Open it up. I think we're going to do the Terminators opposite here. So we'll throw this first one in the back here. So, and that's pissing me off, dude. I never even realized that. That is not a Grey Knight helm, because that Grey Knights do not have red eyes. They have blue eyes on their helm. So, I'm kind of new to 40K, but I do know quite a bit. I love a figure of the Anchoret or Rylor, Loyalist Contemptor, Dreadnoughts of the World Bearers, or EC respectively. Yeah, Alfarius is a beautiful figure if you like the Grey Knights, as are the rest of the dude. Sazaban 98. Oh boy, you. I have Alfarius, and I have an extra Alfarius from Megagon. And in this little box over here that I'm pointing at, not the one that's open, the one that's unopened, I have 2 normal head sculpts of the twins. So when we open, because I still got to open up all of the rest of my Alpha Legion figures, which are down here, along with my word bearers. Yeah, I have all of the Alpha Legion figures. They are freaking awesome. I think, where's Alfurius? That's Sons of Horus. But yeah, there is Alfurius in there, and he's just waiting to come out on display. We're going to throw him out. We'll do Alpha Legion in a couple, probably another week or so. But let's get back to J-Rain. If you pre-order from Loy at Cool Toys Club shipping in the US, he will wait to ship when all is in stock. We'll ship each individually as they become in stock. That's a good question, J-Rain. I mean, normally they ship right away. I have had a bit of an issue with my Angeron not coming to me, but I will say they were pretty awesome because they got my Imperial Knight unbelievably fast to me. So I've never had a problem with Cool Toys Club shipping. I have been ordering recently from LT Cave, so I don't know if there's been a change to their shipping ways, but again, I haven't had any problems outside of this really long wait on my Angeron. So alright, so let's move over to the next Black Legion Terminator. That's an Honor Guard helmet for Command Squad Space Marine. Alright, good. Good Renegade discipline. I'm glad that is confirmed, not a Grey Knight, because it looks like a goddamn Power Armor Grey Knight helmet. Have you thought about getting the other Knight they've released? You talk about the Red Knight from House Raven. Yes, I have that on pre-order. I actually pre-ordered it right away, so we're gonna do when that one comes in. So we're gonna do a quick comparison. We'll do a review, live review also of the House Raven Knight when he comes in. A lot of it is the same. There are a couple differences between that, but we're gonna do that review. We'll do on the massive diorama display because I'll have the room to throw both of them on display and do a nice full review there. So absolutely, J-Rain. Most of my collection is from the Horus Heresy line, but I do have a few 40K figures. Yeah, listen, if you are just collecting the Horus Heresy JOYTOY figures, you're friggin' set, dude. All of those figures are beautiful. Some of the best figures that they've come out with, and when they started coming out with that Horus Heresy line, which Horus was the first one, Justaerin Terminator. Well, actually, no, it wasn't them. It was the Sons of Horus and Imperial Fist, which first came out. But when they came out with that, dude, oh my god, the designs on the figures and just the paint and everything just got to a different level. Absolutely got to a different level. So, alright, so we got our next Terminator here. This one has a bit better joints, and he's got the huge ass tusks growing out the front of his mask. And then what do we got on there? Is that a Space Marine, or is that a... That looks like a... It could be a Space Marine helm, or it could be a... Yeah, I think that's a Space Marine, or it could be the Space Wolves. I mean, I'm sorry, Ultramarine or Space Wolves. So yeah, it could be either or. It's hard to tell, but he's cool. Again, tighter joints on him than the last one. And he's got a dual bolter with box mag on the bottom. He also has a couple of his bolter rounds coming out for some reason. the bullet belt is coming out the bottom of the box mag. That's probably not the way that it's supposed to be, but their equipment's old as hell, so it's probably messed up. So, but he's cool. Again, very similar buck to the one previous, actually almost identical. There are a couple of differences with the armor pieces that he has as well. So, but he looks awesome. Again, the biggest feature on this figure compared to all of the other three Terminators is the massive tusks that are coming out the front of his mask, which are obviously a mutation from the warp. So he's cool. And then he's got this massive power glove on the right, what was that, left hand. But I'm not a fan of power gloves. It's clearly a power glove too, because you can see the extra source of power that's going into it. I'm not a fan of this though, because I don't like when they don't have a fist. right? And he didn't come with an alternate fist. So that kind of defeats the purpose of having a power fist if your dude is not making a goddamn fist. So that's probably my biggest complaint with this figure. So let's see. The red, yes. Alferez is the most I've spent on one of these, but he's, dude, Alferez is, construction-wise, Alferez is the best Primarch that they've come out with. It's also the newest, outside of Angron, which I haven't gotten yet, which should be here, I hope, in the next 2 weeks, before I go to Comic-Con. But he is the best constructed, best put together, best painted Primarch that they've had. No loose joints, no problems whatsoever. My only constructive criticism on that figure is his weapon was a little too green plasticky when I first got him, but that's about it. Everything else is amazing on that figure. He's grown on me to be one of my favorite Primarchs, if not my favorite Primarch that has come out. So alright, so we're going to continue this. This dude is going to go into the back corner here. So, shit, his leg is opening up. I might have to put stands on these older figures later. Oh, god damn it. Stop. He's like trying to do splits here. Stop it. You're leaning against the goddamn case. Come on. You can, like, stand up. Alright, there we go. See, he's leaning against the case. Like I said, some of these older figures, their joints are a little bit looser than what you're used to with the newer figures. Alright, so this is the last of the 3 Terminators that came out a couple of years, like I said, the first run. And this dude's crazy. We still have not seen a weapon this big on any figure. Nothing outside of, like, the friggin' Imperial Knight, nothing has been as big as this. Look at the size of this goddamn thing. Look at, he's got a lunchbox on the back of it for his bolter. He's got a box mag and a drum mag. I have never seen that before. But look at the size of this thing. Now, the one good thing that JOYTOY did with this figure is this is not solid plastic. So at least you don't have to worry about this thing constantly falling over because of the overbearance on weight. But it's actually pretty light. It's very hollow plastic. But this dude, look at the size of this thing. It's absolutely awesome. The one is overcompensating. He is. Angron from 40K would make for great JOYTOY figures. Oh, Angrax. It's that tusk head on a Terminator body. That would be cool. I currently have my Abaddon holding the alternate unhelmeted head from my Iron Fist Space Marine in his Lightning Claw. Oh, that's awesome. You're gonna have to put some pictures up or forward me to your Instagram so I can take a look at some of the pictures. Jake, and that goes for anybody in here. I'd love to see if you have an Instagram account. Just follow me, message me, and be like, hey, blah blah blah. Please check out some of my pictures, and I'll check out some of your pictures because I love seeing what you guys do compared to what I do and how you guys like to set up your shit. So, but he is cool. Again, to this day we have not gotten a figure with this large of a, I guess that's a one hell of a large caliber bolter. I don't even want to imagine the size of the rounds that are coming from that thing. So, and he does the same thing, like he does the same thing like the other one. He's got a power fist, but his power fist is open. So it kind of defeats the whole point of having a power fist if your hand is not in a fist. But other than that, he's a really good figure. Colors there, armor's there. Again, just the shorter stature when you're comparing him to the newer figures that have come out. So I'll join the Discord and post what I currently have. Oh, awesome, dude. Yeah, like I said, just message me on Instagram, follow me here, follow me there, and then I'll shoot you the invite for the Discord, Jake. So, but he is cool. Again, largest weapon that I've ever seen for any JOYTOY figure, even to this day. Nothing else compares. And then on the top, we get an Astra Militarum head. And, oh shit, I didn't even realize. Yeah, it's a skull of an Astra Militarum figure. I guess that's Akkadian force. I guess that's Akkadian. And then we get some more skulls there. But he looks cool. And then we get some mutation on his left, what was that? Left shoulder. So, cool. Good figure. Again, not the largest tusk, but each one of these Terminators had, that's one of also the defining characteristics on these three that came out. Each of them have the tusks. What's hysterical is he has the largest weapon, and he's also the easiest to stand out of these three figures. So, again, that weapon's massive, but it doesn't weigh a lot. They did a really good job. Alright, so then we're going to look at the last Terminator from the BlackLegion that they came out with. And this one came out not recently, but more recently than the three that we just looked at. And he's also a little bit larger in stature. He has one hell of a combi weapon. Dude, look at this thing. Is this like 3 guns? Because it looks like a bolter. A bolter on the bottom. Looks like he has a bolter. He has a melta or something, and then he's got his chainsword, and he actually looks like he has a chainsword. It's not just a little tiny, like, tiny little chainsaw on his weapon. This is a full-on chainsword. So, our cult is growing, yes. New member. Let's go. Tiberius would also have been excellent to have in this line. I doubt he'd ever happen from how massive and niche he is. He's taller than some Primaris. You're talking about the Shark Legion, right? I think we'll get the Catchacuns. I think that's the name of it, or I'm totally butchering it. But it's the Shark chapter, essentially. But I think that we're gonna get that. Yo, what's up, Neo? Good to have you in here, dude. Dude, you gotta get some of those orcs, man. Be part of the JOYTOY love, man. Get some of those orcs. I shot you a message on Instagram. Oh, perfect. After this stream, I'll message you, and I'll message you the invite to Discord. So, Renegade Discipline, Combi, Melta, Bolter, and Melta Bayonet Sword. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's what I figured. So his weapon is 3. So he's got 3 weapons on here. He's got a Melta. He's got the Bolter on the bottom there. That tiny little silver barrel at the end there, and then he's got a massive chainsword, so he looks hysterical. But again, he's got the power axe, which is attached to his back. The only problem with this figure is the stress on this causes the power axe to turn in his hand, so this is very rigid, and it doesn't give you, like, I've tried flipping it around, but unfortunately he's never gonna hold it straight. This is about as straight as I'm gonna get it. So but he's cool. He also came with an alternate head, which was an absolute pain in the ass to take off, but this is his helmeted head. He's got some tusks growing out there, and then him on his shoulders we got a Tyranid skull, and then we got a Dark Angels helm, so some unfortunate Dark Angels guy. He almost looks like he's a chapter master of the Dark Angels he took out. And then what is that? It looks like there's a hair or a bag or something on the back of there. Maybe there's another head in there. But coloring is good. The only problem with this figure, besides the pipe that's going to his power axe, is he has this big ass cloak here, so it's not that it limits his mobility, but he's definitely not the most articulated, or the fact that you can move him so much, you can, but again, it's not as much as some of the other figures. Height wise, he's much better for these Terminators compared to some of the most recent ones. So he's not super short when compared to them, but not the same height compared to, like, for instance, the Blood Angel 40K Terminators, or even the Blood Angel Horus Heresy Blood Paladins. So I'd love to see some of the Salamander Horus Heresy figures with Vulcan, as well, I'd buy them all. Dude, I think, Jake, you are in the exact same boat as me. I gotta be honest with you. I have 3 chapters that I specifically collect that are loyalist. The Blood Angels, oh jeez, how am I forgetting this? The Blood Angels, the Raven Guard, and obviously the Grey Knights. Those are my 3 chapters, essentially. But I think when the Horus Heresy Salamanders comes out, I think that I'm probably going to jump in all on them, because those, I can just imagine, because we got the Alpha Legion figures, and they have that scale mail that is 1000% going to be a part of the Salamanders look. So we get that scale mail already made and ready to roll, and I think that the Salamanders figures are going to be absolutely killer. Especially Vulcan is going to be absolutely insane, being like one of the tallest compared to Magnus Primarchs. He's going to be an absolutely massive figure, massive. And with the coloring of that green, as well as the flames that they have, yeah, those figures are going to be awesome. So I think I'm going to be very careful about that. I think I'm going to wind up getting that one. So Chaos asked him if he wanted a chainsword, Melta, Bolter, or axe, and he said yes. I agree. He said yes to them all. All he had to say is yes one time. I feel like painting the Death Guard I'm gonna get tomorrow is gonna be loads of fun. Cool. Again, Neo, make sure you're posting pictures, because the Death Guard, especially with how much crazy shit is going on with those models, I want to see you paint them up. But yeah, so he's pretty stacked. Again, not like the other Terminators that we just went over. His joints are extremely tight. He's also one of the more expensive Black Legion figures, if I remember correct. I think he was like, when he retailed, I think he was like $70. So Vulcan is going to be massive. Yeah, Magnus size. Yes, Vulcan is absolutely going to be absolutely tall as hell. Vulcan's the tallest Primarch, so the figure is going to be huge. Yeah, the love of Nurgle will be upon you, dude. When we get Death Guard JOYTOY figures, dude, that's going to be crazy. Alright, so we got him. So he is going to finish up my row here with my Terminator Chaos Legion figures. So they are all set. And then we're going to go a little bit faster here, but I want to show these ones because, again, this is something that we haven't seen with any JOYTOY figures. These are all like the siege weapons for the Black Legion. So we haven't seen these type of weapons on any of the newer figures. So not a lot of mutation on the armor here, but look at the size of this. I guess this is a I guess a massive Les, right? He's crazy. So we haven't seen any of these figures come, or any recent figures with anything like this. And look at the pipes that are attached to his back. This was really the start of the unbelievably stinky figures. And if you guys ordered some of the first run figures, you know what I'm talking about. You would take these out of the box and they would smell like diesel. They would absolutely smell terrible. So, but yeah, he's really cool. Again, some of the other weird issue with these figures is the feet. These stand and they have pretty rigid joints on them. It's just their feet. They have very small feet, and even with these little like spiky things that are supposed to be coming out of their feet, I guess to give them more you know, stand-up ability when they're shooting their massive siege weapons off. They do have a bit of a problem standing there. So, but he's cool. And then we got the targeting reticule on his helm. And then we move over to this one. Shit, please don't fall over. And then this one is more of a mortar. Look at the size of those rounds on the top there too. And then he's got a Tech Marine piece on the side, as well as he's got the targeting reticule on the top of his helmet. But yeah, he's got a mortar system attached to him. Again, we haven't seen anything like this since these first run figures. I don't know if it's because of of the cost of doing something like this, but yeah, and you can see here, like, some of these guys are a bit top heavy. They're not, it's not overtly bad, but I think it's really the feet. The feet are really awkward as hell. I almost feel like these are definitely going to need to have stands on them. But yeah, he's cool, and his I'm afraid to like not hold him, but this is all articulated as well. So, and then he also came with an extra shell actually, which can go on the inside of that mortar. So actually I knew that Lone was gonna say that. Actually, Magnus is the tallest. I knew you were gonna say. I was just waiting for you. Yeah, Vulcan is a giant for Primarch. I think he's as large as Redemptor. Actually, this little Nurgle I got is the biggest. One day I'd love to have all 18 Primarchs as a JOYTOY figure, but I can only hope they make them all. Dude, Jake, they're definitely gonna be making them all. By the way, Jake, and anybody else in chat here, I don't know if you've seen my custom Emperor of Mankind figure that I bought from WOG Toys. I got about a month ago. So that figure review is up on my channel too as he falls over. But that figure is insane. And if you want to see a figure that is tall as hell, he is absolutely massive. Absolutely massive. He stands next to Magnus, and proportionally, he is so much bigger and taller. So, alright, so we're moving over to our next siege weapon, Chaos Marine. And then this guy has one hell of a Gatling bolter. So, and then you can see he's one of my favorite ones that came out from one of these, just because of the bullet belt that's on the bottom here. He has two bullet belts that attach one to another, and then both, look at the size of these drum mags on the back of his power pack, dude. Absolutely awesome. Again, I'm very surprised that we haven't seen more of these type of figures. Maybe it's just the hardships of trying to do something like this, because this is a lot of rubber. This is a lot of malleable rubber plastic to be able to do this, and for the guys to be able to stand there. Again, I think the biggest problem with these, all of these siege weapon BlackLegion first run figures, is just the feet. Again, the feet are super awkward. They don't provide enough stability for how big these figures are and how much armament they have on them. So you can see also some of the effects of chaos on his weapon. I would expect almost to have like a massive mouth on the end of his Gatling gun. So as he is trying to fall on his face. But these are cool. I think these are all gonna need stands. I think I'm gonna grab stands before we put them in the display. And then the final one, as one of them is tired as hell, so he's taking a break. These are a pain in the ass to stand. This is the last one. And then look at the size, look at the caliber of these bolter rounds going from his power pack. Look at the size of those rounds, dude. Just absolutely massive. And the cool, again, first run figures, there are some problems with them, but dude, these, you don't have anything like this. We have no figures that have these type of weapons in any of the recent figures that have come out. So that alone to me is enough of a cool factor to make sure that these are still in my collection. So, and I think you can get these still, maybe even for cheap. But each of these siege weapon BlackLegion figures is awesome. I love them. Horus was my first JOYTOY figure. Oh, I didn't know that, Lone. They'll definitely make the Night Lords. Oh, they're absolutely gonna make the Night Lords, dude. Absolutely. My Stern Guard vet with heavy bolter had mad stink when I got. Dude, they were so smelly. Even to this day, when I smell them, they can still smell that burnt diesel smell. So, smells like heretic. It does. So yeah, so these are the siege weapons. What's up, Matthew? What is going on, sir? So these are each of the siege terminators. I'm gonna have to grab some stands. So I'm gonna put this on the stand while I do that. Oh my god. Let me do the stand, and I will put this here in a sec. flip this around. Alright, so we'll put this down here while I get some stands out, because there's no way I'm going to be able to put these siege weapon BlackLegion figures in the case with them not falling over, so I'm definitely going to have to do that. So that looks good. So let's go. I actually have to fix up all of my extra shit. Where are they? I have to go through this and organize this better, because I have like 4 bins of parts. By the way, I can't be the only one that has ridiculous amounts of hands. Look at this. This is the bag goddamn hands from just the Blood Angel figures. You can make like an extra 3 or 4 figures with these things. So, all right. So we have. Is this where my stands are? Yes. So we're gonna need 4 stands and 4 stands. And thank God they came out with better stands than the very first. If you guys remember, I think they didn't have clear stands when the figures first came out. They had different type of fucking stands. They were more like heavy plastic looking stands when they came out with them. So, all right, so we're gonna do him. He's gonna get a stand. He should be able to get in there. Some of these first run figures, also the plastic. Changing hands on these guys is absolutely makes me want to kill myself. Oh god damn it. Yeah, okay, so he's on it. Just gotta make sure both feet are on it, so it doesn't fall over. Yeah, he's fine. So he's good. We got him on a stand. This guy is gonna be a pain in the ass, so hopefully we can get him on a stand, standing upright. And this is our mortar system, dude. Oh, god damn it. Come on. I feel like I should be heating up these feet before I do this, but I think we can pull it off. So we got the mortar system guy, and then we got the massive las rifle on this guy. So we'll throw a stand on him as well. Get on there. Terminator ones prior to that, because they weren't the power armor, I can get away because there's enough bulk and weight to those figures. I'll probably have to wind up putting a stand on them anyway, but these power armor siege weapon guys 1000% need a stand if they're going to stand up in my display, or else I'm going to be coming in every morning and then another dude's going to be falling over. Look at this. God damn it, dude. He's got to lift. He's got to stand forward. Some of these joints are so loose on their feet. Oh my god. Alright, so we got stands on all 4 of our siege weapon power armor BlackLegion figures. So let me switch to the front camera. The JOYTOY figures are the best Warhammer figures I've seen. Dude, Jake. Absolutely, dude. I have actually this bin right here, the blue bin that you see, I have 50 Tyranid Gene Stealers from McFarlane, just because I needed like army builders for them. And McFarlane makes okay figures, but compared to JOYTOY, it's not even close. Like, I know that they're a larger scale, but you can actually get some pretty good creatures from that. So, alright, so he is going to, goddamn it. Okay, so he looks like he's fine. This is gonna be the problem with these figures. Is, man, these weapons are so massive, dude. Look at that. He's literally taking up like a quarter of the space in there. Alright, so we'll get the mortar system dude over in the back side, because he's gonna have probably one of the hardest time standing. So we got those 2 in there. I'm probably gonna have to move that Gatling gun guy. Yeah, I think I'm gonna have to, because this las rifle guy is gonna have to stand against the wall. And I think that if we have him moving up a little bit more, I think we'll have a bit more space in here for this display. Alright, so we got him, We got the large caliber bolter here. Them havoc need stands because they'll cause havoc. They'll break shit in here, dude. I do not want to come in one morning and then all my shit is broke, or have my kids, because my kids have access to this area too. But the last thing is I need them to come in and start knocking shit over, or just be in the room and all of a sudden stuff starts falling. Alright, so he's gonna go here. So we got room for another figure there. Down there we're gonna have to put some Sons of Horus figures. Dude, I think I'm gonna have to mix Sons of Horus figures in here. Shit. I got a ton of figures left to go too. So alright, so these are the remaining Chaos Legion figures, and this is probably the thing I didn't realize that I have this many of the first run figures. So yeah, so this is going to be a bit of a pain to be able to make sure that these guys get in here. I guess I can stick some of them in the spots already taken up. So, well, we're going to look first at this figure right here, whose size comparison wise, it's actually not too bad. When he originally, I got him, I was thinking that this is their version of Abaddon, because I wasn't sure exactly who this dude was supposed to be. But I was like, is this their version of Abaddon? Because again, this is a very early figure that had come out. But he looks awesome. Scale-wise, he's not too bad. He's not as tiny looking and proportionally as, like, for instance, this power armor variant of them, which we'll cover in just a second here. But yeah, he's not too bad. He's not too bad. Hopefully they get corrosive courage and start making demon heads in JOYTOY. Dude, can you imagine a Forge Fiend? Oh my god. Or when it comes to some Chaos Legions, kill more enemies. Yeah. But he's, I mean, it's an awesome looking figure. The only problem I had was this top knot there kept popping out, so I had to throw some glue on the top of there, and then he was good to go. So, and then power pack, nothing crazy special, but definitely unique to him. Yeah, cool figure. Again, tighter joints than the siege weapon chaos figures. And then this dude, I know I've seen artwork of him. What's his name? Because I forgot the name of the figure. But I think that he's a pretty big Chaos Legion character. But he's got he literally, look at this. Some of these weapons, some of these early weapons, are really cool. So he's got the Chaos Maul. He's got a really cool Eye of Horus looking on his shoulder, almost like the Justaerin Terminators, or Horus's version, or Abaddon on the Horus Heresy figures. And then we get the touch of the Chaos taking over his shoulder there. He's got a plasma pistol, and then this power maul, and then no issues with the top knot falling out. He is a bit bulkier when you compare him to this dude, just because his chest is way bigger, and he's got also that fur that's coming over the top. So I'd like to see a JOYTOY, one of the many tanks in the setting. Yeah, so Jake, so we get so I got the Ball Predator. I actually got two of those, which is going to be coming out soon. And then we got the the Ultramarine Rhino. So we got troop carrier for the Ultramarines, and then we got the Ball Predator tank that's coming up from JOYTOY. I believe it should be here in November, but I picked up two of the Ball Predators. So, and then I picked up 10 new Intercessor version 2 figures, because none of the newer figures are going to be able to fit in those tanks. So, all right, so these two, I think, for now, the Ball Predator's actually next. Okay, cool. So it is next month. Shit, dude, I got a lot of shit coming. So I got two of those on pre-order from LTK. By the way, guys, if you guys are interested and you want to support the channel, I do not have club memberships. I don't have super chats enabled. None of that crazy stuff. Other channels like to do it, and that's fine. But I like to try to keep everything free here, so you guys don't have to pay for any of this content, because it's a hobby. So this I'm doing for free. So if you guys want to support the channel, you can use the affiliate links on the bottom. in the description. There's also going to be something else coming later on this year, which I'll be talking about another time. So, but yeah, these look pretty cool. Pretty cool. Oh, I keep forgetting. If you guys like this content, well, I'm going to say it right here. If you guys like this content, please like and subscribe. Come on, guys. Alright, so we're going to stick these two, I think. I want to have room, because we got a lot of Sons of Horus figures to put in here. This whole side is going to be Sons of Horus figures. We got a Contemptor Dreadnought that's going to go there. We got a Leviathan Dreadnought, which is going to go there. By the way, those two Dreadnoughts are right here. So we got the Leviathan, we got the Siege Terminator, or the Siege Dreadnought rather, right there. And we got the Contemptor right there. So, Sons of Horus, what was their specialty again? Being bold. maybe they're following in suit with their Primarch. So the Sons of Horus specialized Emperor Daddy issues. Oh wait, all leads to that. Pretty much. By the way, guys, I'm gonna take an opportunity here. This is one of the. So this is a Diablo figure, and the reason why I'm showing this is because JOYTOY hasn't come out with any demon figures. So if you want a demon figure to deal with, to have a nice diorama piece for like the Grey Knights or something, I highly recommend this figure. This is called Diablo by Hero Toys, and he comes with like a fire effect that sticks in his face. And he's probably one of the most dangerous figures that I've ever had, because all of those spikes are rigid as hell and they are sharp. They hurt. Alright, so where are we going to stick him? I don't want to stick him. Oh, you know what? We're going to stick him with the. I know what we're going to do. We're going to stick him with the new BlackLegion figures that came out this year. So we'll stick him because he's actually not too bad size-wise, right? Look at that. That's actually, he fits in pretty good with those figures. And then we're gonna take the Power Mold dude, I think, and we're also gonna throw him in here. Not the one in the back, but the other one with the top note. So I think this will work out pretty good. Pretty good. They don't look like they're getting sandwiched in there. So this guy, look at the size of his power back too, wide as hell. So he is going to go in over here. Dude, my collection is coming together, man. I was a little upset. I was like, shit. I'm like, I want to get this done. But this is pretty cool. Alright, so he's going to go to the bottom with the Hellbrute. Alright, and the Hellbrute I think is pushed back as far as he's going to go. I don't know, he's going to slam into shit. He's going to have to go this way. So we'll stick him there. And then we're going to look at the final figures here. And then these are the smallest ones of the BlackLegion. More or less, these are the very first figures that kind of came out. These are good figures, but again, the thing that hurts them the most is going to be just their small stature. Because these guys are really small. And they're kind of, they look like the Primaris Marine models, which makes sense because that's what these are based on. So these were very much the short, stocky looking power armor variant figures. So, and again, the only problem with these are cool looking. Everything is there as far as the paint and everything regarding how much detail is on the figures. The weapons are cool. We got a plasma pistol there. We got a power axe on this. I think this actually, yes, this was my very first JOYTOY figure. This was the figure that I bought while I was playing Battle Sector, and I was like, you know what? I'll give this a shot. Let me see how these figures are. They're the smaller Hobbit Harrison. They're the smaller scale figures, and at the time I was collecting like 6-inch figure lines. I was like, shit, don't have enough room in my room for these 6-inch figures. So let me try something that's smaller. And these are like 4-inch figures. I was like, these are really detailed figures. got him, absolutely fell in love with all the JOYTOY figures. So I got them and the Blood Angel figures. So again, this is my very first JOYTOY figure, and you can see he his power axe, right, taken over a bit by chaos. McFarlane Marines I like for 1/12 scale. Yeah, again, the McFarlane figures, listen, I like all of their beasts, right? I just don't like I actually have a Chaos BlackLegion figure also from McFarlane, but again, if they were the only ones out, yes, 100% I agree, Sazabin, but because we have JOYTOY, like, these things just blow them away. Absolutely blow the McFarlane figures away. So, paint, articulation, detail, everything JOYTOY figures are absolutely killer on. So, again, this is, look at the size of this dude's power pack too. He's got this huge protrusion at the top. I don't even think that we're going to call that, anything that's helping him, really. This is Heresy, Call the Black Templars. No, Loyalist 40K. I am not going to collect the Black Templars. They're too awesome, and I know that I'll break my policy for them, and I don't need to collect all the Black Templars, especially with the amount of shit that I have. But thank you for jumping in, Loyalist 40K. But yeah, so these are, again, I think there's one of these figures I doubled up on. I think it's this one. And I just switched their heads around with some other body. But a lot of these have bolter pistols, bolter rifles. I have a couple of them. We got another power axe there. We got the... actually, you know what's actually interesting about this? Is on all the Ultramarine figures, we get the... outside of just recently with the special collector's edition of Titus, Clarion, and I forgot his name. But the chainsword they look terrible. This actually looks cool as hell. All of the BlackLegion chainswords look cool, and they're unique. Look at that. Can't say that about the Space Marine figures, dude. Maybe that's why they haven't done a lot of the BlackLegion, because there's like so much difference. You can't just have one sculpt. I guess you could, but it kind of takes away from what the BlackLegion is, with all of the mutations on their armor and their weapons and everything like that. So, but yeah, so these are the smallest ones. We're not going to individually go through each one. I actually have a little bit of a headache right now, so we're going to end this soon. Do you have the Abaddon Despoiler JOYTOY? Yes, we do. 40K. So I actually have a really cool version of him. I showed him before, and we just put him out for display. So we actually have this Abaddon, probably one of my favorite JOYTOY figures, with his Justaerin Terminators. And one thing that your eagle-eyed is going to notice is, you see that helm? So that is not obviously a helm that comes with him. This is a custom helm by WOG Toys, and you can pick this up for about 15 bucks. And it's perfect. Absolutely perfect. I have a thing where I like to have all helms on my Space Marines, and Abaddon didn't come with one, obviously, because he was never shown with one in art, really. But this one is so cool, dude. And it's painted, pre-painted. It fits on the peg perfectly. But I love this. I love this figure. Absolutely love this figure. And then we got his Justaerin Terminators in the back there. And then, of course, at the very top, we gotta have Horus. Gotta have Horus. Got to have Horus. And then also, Horus, you can see, has the mask from WOG Toys also. So, very cool. Do you have BlackLegion Dreadnought? Oh, yes. Oh, yes, we got the Hellbrute over here. There you go. We got the Hellbrute. Again, a little bit sad that they haven't come out with more Hellbrutes for, like, for instance, the World Eaters or something. But hopefully we'll see that. DG, what do you think? Do you think we'll see any more Hellbrutes for like the World Eaters or any of the other chapters. But this looks awesome. A very cool figure. Again, one of a kind. We haven't seen any of this particular design come out. Awesome, awesome figure. My only complaint with this figure would just be the texture. And I said this before on the live stream, was the texture of that purple skin. I think the skin color is fine. It's just, I wish that we had some more texture on this, because it looks a little gray and plain on there. So, but there you go, 40K Loyalist. Very, very cool. This is one of my favorite JOYTOY figures, as well as Justaerin and Terminators. And then we got, just recently, the official announcement for pre-sale of the, excuse me, the Praetor for the Justaerin Terminators. So we got him coming out. He's going to fit in perfectly. I'll probably stick him where Abaddon is, and then move Abaddon a little bit, and then we'll stick Abaddon with Horus and move Horus a little bit back. But yeah, so very cool. You also have the black. I have every single BlackLegion figure that they've come out with. So every single one. That's what this live stream was about, setting up every single BlackLegion figure that has come out from JOYTOY to date. So, and then by the way, here's a quick shot. Here's Sanguinius and all of my Blood Angel figures. And then we got the new what do we get? We got the Sanguinor this week. So he looks awesome. So, alright, so we're going to take these short, stumpy BlackLegion figures first run. They're cool, and they still hold a nice place in my heart, because really these were the very first figures that I got, and really got me into Warhammer overall. Video games and this was a combination of the two, but yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. So, alright, we are trying to save this display for the Horus, for the Sons of Horus. And then the bottom one we're going to try to save, as well as the top. So all of the BlackLegion figures took up the middle and a little bit to the right. So I should have enough room for all of my Sons of Horus figures. We'll probably do that maybe Sunday or Saturday or maybe Monday. Depends on what's going on. But let's get the rest of these short stumpy figures in here. So let's see. I don't think these ones I'm actually not going to need stands with, because their joints are pretty solid. So, oh, by the way, Loyalist. Here's my, so I built out a diorama using kinetic sand. So this is the current diorama that I have set up. You'll see some pictures on my Instagram, as well as posts and pictures on YouTube community of this stuff. So, but yeah, also guys, again, I'm going to say this again. I'm going to show my face when I say this. If you guys like this content, please like, so look at this. I'm wearing a Horus shirt. Come on. Come on. If you guys like this content, please like and subscribe. Oh man, I can't change the camera. Let's turn it around. There we go. Alright, so again, we're going to take these figures, we're going to split them up. We'll throw a couple in with all of our siege weapon or heavy weapon BlackLegion figures here. By the way, Astartes, or Loyalist 40K, did you see these figures, dude? Look at the size. Look at the size of these weapons. We got a mortar team. We got a las cannon, a Gatling bolter. There we go with our mortar team guy. And then we got a heavy bolter on the front there. So, alright, so we're going to stick him here. Oh man, your feet are not steady. Come on. Let's get your feet down. There we go. I think this is the figure from that was featured on the cover of, or the animation for Tacticus, or maybe I'm wrong. I remember he was definitely featured on something. All right, so we're gonna get him next, and we'll throw him down with the BlackLegion Terminators. By the way, look at the size of the weapon on that one. On that one was 40K. Haven't seen a weapon that big on a figure since this guy came out 4 years ago. No figure since then has come out with a weapon that's as big as that thing. Alright, so we're going to stick him... Oh, we're going to have to fix his leg, because he's like standing at a weird angle. Try and do this one-handed. It's not easy. We don't want you standing all weird. There we go. Now you're standing straight. Alright, so he's going to go here with the other Terminators. So we filled that up, and then we got 4 more figures to go. Thank you, sir. Which figure do you want most out of the whole line present, or you're hoping they make in the future? What do I want? I want more goddamn Green Knights. I know that we've gotten a lot, but I want more Green Knights, dude. Specifically, any character. I want a redone Kaldor Dragor. I know we won't get it, but I want a redone Kaldor Dragor because he has some loose ass joints. But I don't know. I'm pretty happy with. I'll say the Emperor Mankind figure that I got. Probably the Emperor Mankind before I got him would have probably been what I said. But since I got the Emperor Mankind custom figure, I'm pretty happy, dude. I'm really happy with the slate of figures that JOYTOY is coming out with. Yeah, I would say that what am I looking forward to? I want Raven Guard. I want Raven Guard Horus Heresy. I want that. That's what I want. I want Raven Guard Horus Heresy figures. That is what I want. And that weapon is bigger than the Space Marine. How does he carry it? Tell me about it, dude. It's crazy. What's up, Mister? Yeah, like I said, I mean, shit, dude. We've gotten 2 Imperial Knights, right? I got the second one coming. We've gotten so many. We got some of our other figures over here. We got our Thousand Sun Horus Heresy figures. Dude, they've just come out with so much shit, dude, in such a short amount of time. Like I said, I'm happy with what they've come out with, and yeah, I just want to see them keep going with the chapters and more Horus Heresy stuff. Oh, all right. So I would say this: if I would say what is the thing I want to see, it's probably 40K Mortarion. I want to see Death Card 40K, not Horus Heresy, and I want to see their version. I want to see Mortarion. That's what I want to see. So if I had to pick something, that's what I would pick. All right. So we're gonna stick another dude over here. Don't want to overcrowd the areas, but I have all these extra smaller figures to get in here too. Alright, we got 2 more. Actually, let me go back. This is bugging me. I should have him in the front. And we'll move the other figure, as I almost dropped him. We're going to move this one over here. Yeah, that'll be fine. That will look good. It won't look like I'm... Oh, this is a pain in the ass. Let me move him over. And then this. Let me straighten out his bolter. And that doesn't look too bad. I'll come back to here and fix some of the guys, how they're standing. So we got 2 final small ones to go. Standard bolter in his hand. And probably we'll do 1 and 1. So we'll stick 1 more with the Terminators here. So we'll move this guy a bit back. And then we're going to stick this dude here. And that will work as long as he's not hitting the door with his bolter. And this guy will have to go back a little bit more. And then this guy will go here. And that is that. Alright, and then we get the final one. And then this one, he is just going to go down there with the Hellbrute. So we can shut this door. So this one is done. And then this one will be finished in just a second. And holy shit, this stream has gone for 2 hours, guys. Holy crap. Alright, so we got him. So we're going to shut the door, and then we'll do a final look, and then we're going to say goodbye for the night. Alright, so we got Horus at the top here, who's looking freaking awesome, dude. Absolutely awesome. Love that alternate mask that I have on. Then we got Abaddon, and we got the Justaerin Terminators. Soon we'll have the Praetor in there as well. And then we get, next level is the newer BlackLegion figures with, actually, you know what, that dude right there does not look out of place with them, scale wise too, and he's one of the first JOYTOY Chaos Legion figures that came out, so very cool. So we have the newer, what was it, 5, 6, 5, I think it's 5, yeah, 5 Chaos Legion and power armor, as well as that guy there. Then on the very bottom we get the Hellbrute and 2 of the very early figures that came out. This guy's a name character, and I forgot what his name is. I know also there was some special art done of this guy during, I think it was Dawn of War 2, or maybe Dawn of War 1. And then, yeah, so we got him. Yeah, what's up, Two Finger Tony? We want to see Space Marine feats now. Dude, Mister, I almost did a stream tonight with Space Marine, my cosplay boots for my Grey Knight Interceptor, because I have to put souls on the cosplay for it. So that was almost the stream tonight, but I didn't have the right amount of material to do it. So here we go. We got the Terminators in here. We got the largest weapon to this day made for a JOYTOY figure. Nothing comes close to that Terminator in the center there. And then we get the Lord Terminator with a bunch of these cool. These are cool because they have the chapter helms, as well as we got Tyranid head right there. And then some of the smaller, some of the earlier figures. These are all the early figures as well. And then more early figures, we got the all of the siege weapon or heavy weapon BlackLegion figures, which we still have not gotten. We haven't gotten anything like this for, even the Ultramarines don't have shit like this. Like, look at this, look at that heavy bolter he has there. And then we got the Gatling gun right there in the middle back. And then we get a massive las cannon. Probably can't see it, but that's maybe a better angle. And then over there in the back, we get the mortar. So, and then we got a couple more of the smaller figures in there. So, very cool. I am very happy. This collection is starting to look better. So, again, Blood Angels to Grey Knights to BlackLegion. And then the next thing that's going in here is the Sons of Horus. So, we'll finish this, Sons of Horus. Then we're going to go over here. I have displays down on the bottom here. Oh, I can move this out right now. But we're going to put all of our shit down there. By the way, I still have miniatures I got to paint and put together. I know, Lone, you want to see that. But yeah, so we're going to put all of the rest of my JOYTOY figures here. We got more display area up here. Goes all the way across. That Nemesis Power Blade is not going to stay there, neither with that Terminator Grey Knight helm or my power pack. All of this is more display area. So we're going to have a ton more streams as I finish putting this room together. So, and then obviously we got the massive diorama display. This will change as we get more figures in, especially as we get Angron. We'll do some more pictures and we'll do some more reviews from this area too. So you take shoes of these figures. I love to see JOYTOY version of the zombies. Yeah, like I said, Death Guard would be awesome. Damn, I had such a good laugh, man. Nice figures, by the way. Thank you, Mr. Jake Smith, he's a Chaos Lord. I know that I can't remember his name. Yeah, he is a Chaos Lord. I don't remember his name either. Big fan of the guy holding the assault cannon with the ammo belts. Dude, he's crazy looking. Crazy looking. Looks great. Alright, guys. As usual, I'm going to say this last time. If you guys like this content, please like and subscribe. This Tech Marine might be an Ultramarine now, but he is going to change to a Blood Angel. We're going to do that soon. So, alright, guys. I'm out. I'll be on tomorrow. We're going to do Space Marine 2 because I still got to do my weeklies. So we're going to do Space Marine 2 tomorrow night. And yeah, and then Sunday we have Toy Hammer After Dark. And we're going to talk about I have Recon Rage and Badass reviews. We're talking about the new JOYTOY figures released this week. Spoiler alert, I'm going to get 2 of the Sanguinor, and we're going to stick them both in here. So we're going to talk about that. That's going to be Sunday night, 11 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And then maybe another stream, we'll do the Sons of Horus in the next couple days here. You guys can keep an eye out for the alerts and stuff like that that's going on. Alright guys, as usual, if you like this content, like and subscribe. Alright guys, I'm Wraith, I'm out. Later guys.